All right, grade eights. Today we are going to learn about a new verb tense. We've already learned about le futur proche, how to talk and write about things in the future. Now we're going to learn how to talk and write about things in the past. Okay, so this verb is going to be called le passé composé. Okay, so we're going to need three things. We're going to need a subject, something called the l'auxiliaire, and the participe passé, which is the past participle in English. Sounds complicated, but we have this guide that we are going to follow here. Okay, so step one is we're always going to ask ourselves if the verb is a Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp verb, because if it is one of these verbs like devenir, revenir, mourir, rentrer, I'll give you a list of those. You don't have to memorize them. But if that verb is a Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp, we are going to go we, yes, and then we're going to follow these steps here, okay? For this lesson, though, we are just going to focus on verbs that are not Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp. So they would not be on our list of Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp verbs. So we are following the arrows to the no side, okay? So for example, let's use the verb visit, okay? So visit, the V in Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp is for the verb venir. So the V is not Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp. So I would be on the no side here. Okay. Then I want to know my subject. Who am I talking about? And let's say it's us talking about like a trip somewhere. We will go somewhere. So we is nous. So my first step then would be to have nous avons. Okay. So nous avons. That is our subject and our auxiliaire, our little helping verb together. Okay. Next, we're going to look at the next step. Keep following the arrow, work across. And visiter is an ER verb. So ER is going to become accent aigu. Okay. So if I put it all together here, it's nous avons. Oops. Nous avons. So we visited somewhere. Nous avons. And then remember using that past participle, le participe passé. Nous allons visiter. Okay, so that ER, instead of, if you look here, instead of ER, we delete the ER and we add an accent aigu. Okay, so this works for lots of verbs. Let's say I was talking about a student and they finished their homework. Okay, so let's just say it was a girl in class. She finished her homework, so it's going to be elle. Okay, it's not a Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp verb, so we're sticking with this no side. We're going to use the verbe avoir. So il, elle, on, elle, a, and then finish is the verb finir. So I'm going to look at this here again. So ir, if I follow this guide, becomes I. So elle a fini. Okay, same thing as if, let's say, I sold something. Okay, so now if I sold something, the subject is je. So it's going to be J, and that's to sell something is the verb vendre. Okay, and now I need to put that in the participe passé, and RE becomes you. Oops, there we go. J'ai vendu une télévision. I sold an old television. Okay, so to start off, we're going to be focusing on verbs that are not the Dr. Mrs. Vandertramp. We're just going to look at the subject. Je is I, tu is you, he or she, we, they, or just a group of people, il or elle au pluriel. And then we keep following the arrows, whatever verb we're using. If it's an ER verb, the ER becomes accent aigu. If it's an IR verb, get rid of the I. And if it's an RE verb, the RE becomes a U. Okay, so follow those examples, follow those steps, and that's how we will write and talk in the past tense with le passé composé.